Hi everyone, today we are doing a short entry install on an N80. We're going to go through the install process, how to use the cutout templates, just car protection with using some tape, and just the basic tools we're going to need. So follow us through for this nice little tutorial. All right, so first step on the install is to just open up your kit. Your install kit with your snorkel is going to come with one of our cutout templates. You're going to have to go buy your own tape. Just get some masking tape from Bunnings. And then you've got your snorkel, your flexi hose, and your 2 clamps as well. And then also your bracket, which will come up here. So we're going to start off by taping most of this guard. Tape your mirror as well, and then tape all up the side of your pillar. That's just so when you're test fitting, you're not scratching any parts of your car. All right, so now that we've taped up our guard, bonnet, and A-pillar, it does look over the top, but better safe than sorry for a couple of bucks worth of tape. Next thing is to just cut out our template. It will come out with instructions written on here as well. And there should also be a QR code on the new ones, which will bring you straight to these videos. So you can just scan that, you don't have to read instructions. We know most blokes don't anyway. Pretty easy, just cut around the outside of the line, edge of guard, which just refers to this edge coming along here. So we're going to line one section up with that, and the other one will be with the door. So you can just run your finger through your tape if you've gone over. Just get that line showing. You're going to have part of the snorkel lining up here, the other part lining up on this top guard there, and then lining up here. That'll just make your install nice and neat, get everything in the right spot. You can just use a pair of scissors to do the cutout, and just make sure you leave this center section there. You're not cutting the whole thing out. There is a piece of tape there to make sure the shape's not getting warped when you pull it straight. Make the install a little bit easier. This car's just got some large tires on a low lift, so we're just jacking up the front a bit because we've got to get the inner guard out. So you can take off the tire if you want, which we might end up doing just to show you how it's done. Or if you've got smaller tires, you can just leave your tire on. We'll undo those clips. Easy way, just 2 screwdrivers if you don't have the right tool. So that's why we're just using 2 screwdrivers to show you can do it that way. Take off all your plugs, and then we'll take out this inner guard. Then we can start cutting up our hole. You kind of want to get that out before you start cutting, because all your shaving is just going to fall in there and make it hard to clean up later. So yeah, we'll take that out, get the vacuum, do it all nice and neat. And yeah, we'll go to the next step. Guys, so now getting onto the airbox installation part. So we're using the stock airbox on this model, but just to get to the airbox and taking that out, there's the little air inlet from the guard, just a small bolt on that. They'll pull out pretty simply. Just give it a little bit of a tug, she'll come out. Then once we move into the airbox, just your 3 bolts on your airbox, and you're pulling that out. And you have this flange here. If you just get your screwdriver, just a flathead, just pry it around, and that will just slide out pretty easily. I've already pre-done that one, but that comes out nice and easily. I'd leave the airbox loose. If you are going to be doing a lot of off-roading, I recommend get an aftermarket airbox. They seal better. Toyota's airboxes are known for not sealing and dusting the engines. But you might want to just double check that your little filler here isn't blocked and stuck open for the drip out. A lot of guys do actually seal these up. I'd recommend not to on a stock one. You do want the air to come out, but if that is not closing properly, go buy a new one from Toyota. They do stock them. There is another little hole in here, but if you're planning on doing water crossings, I'd definitely seal that up. But always recommended to go an aftermarket one, so check our website for that. We've got twin pod ones, which look awesome as well. So that we're just gonna leave loose, just hang there. So we're gonna have to put our piping kit up to that. Now for the piping kit, all right, so on this vehicle we're using the flex hose. There's a lot of controversy about this. Some guys are using really cheap shit, like under $10 a meter kind of stuff. The stuff we use is a lot more expensive. It's a twin wall. It is reinforced with fibers as well. So you'll see, like when you cut this, there's material inside there as well. It's not just a thin rubber. Makes it really easy for your installation at home. Quick to fit. Durability is awesome, and you don't have as many components where you can leak from. So we do supply a solid kit for this, where you got your silicone bend joints and stainless steel pipe in there as well. A lot more work to fit, adds a bit of extra weight, but you do have a lot more joiners where you can have leaks, although they're not known for leaking. If you don't tighten them up properly or they loosen over the corrugations, it's just more failure points. So we do recommend to just go this way. It's cheaper, it's cost effective, it's quick to install, makes your life, especially if you're not doing this on a daily basis, it makes your life a lot easier. And these are UV protectant up to 135 degrees Celsius. So there's nothing wrong with these. They're not gonna just split on you. Even if you get a little rub through over corrugations and you see some of the metal coming out, on the other side of the metal, there is another layer as well, which is nice and thick. So yeah, I wouldn't be like huffing and puffing that you're getting the flexi hose. You got the other option as well, but I run these on my 200 and I well recommend them. So for the install now, we've got the hole in the guard, which fits this perfectly. So there's no cutting in your guard, which is another good nice thing about these. It's a 4-inch, and we're literally just gonna feed it up through here. And twist that in, and that's it, she's through. So we'll hook the airbox up to that shortly. All right, so we're getting on to the cutting now. Just another safety precaution once you got your airbox out. Make sure you just tape up your turbo inlet. There's gonna be a bit of metal fibers floating around when we do this cutting, or whatever. If you're cutting outside in the garage or whatnot, there might be other stuff floating around. So just make sure you seal that off. You don't want to destroy your turbo. All right, so now we've cut our template out. We've test fitted for sizing, make sure it's nice and tight. Our templates are on the tighter side, so we do cut on the inside of the line. It does leave a little bit of room for error, just in case you get off an angle a little bit, but when you're cutting it, try to stay inside the lines. Now we're gonna fit our bracket. So put your pinch weld on, so that way we'll get it in the exact right spot. Then we're gonna be attaching our bracket to our snorkel, which is nut inserted in. These nut inserts, we've got one non-powder one, coated one here so you can see it properly, but we actually weld those nut inserts in. So with them welded in, they're never coming out. So don't stress about them going loose on corrugations or anything. They're all tacked in there nicely. So now we'll just be putting our bracket on like this. Then we're gonna put the snorkel into the car, put 2 lines on each side of our bracket, and on the back as well. And that way we've got the marking. Then we'll do our dots for our 5 rivets, and we can go to start installing this on the car. All right, so we're setting up our bracket now. Our bracket's a little bit different. We go on the outside of the A-pillar, not on the inside of your door. The reason for that is the brackets destroy your rubber trimming and you end up getting leaks through there, and they tear and wear pretty easily. So the step in this is just paste your bracket on pretty loosely onto your snorkel. Then fit your snorkel in. Make sure you got your rubber trimming on as well, guys, because that's gonna get your snorkel in the exact right spot. And then get your bracket so it's touching your A-pillar properly. Your main aim is to get it sitting on your A-pillar nice and flat. And then once you're happy with that, just push it against your car. Make sure you got your tape on there so you're not scratching your car. And you just come around, mark the back, mark the sides. If you got a friend to help you hold it, boyfriend, girlfriend, makes it a lot easier. So then once that's off, you can take your bracket off and I'll show you the next step. All right, so the next step's pretty easy. We're just gonna line up with those lines that we did on the back and on the sides. And then we're just gonna go through and just mark the centers of our holes. And that's where we're gonna be drilling, pre-drill the holes for our nut inserts. And then we'll be able to, pre-drill the holes for our rivets. And then we'll rivet the bracket on. Once the bracket's riveted on, we simply just put our bolts into the nut inserts and that's our install done. Doing it this way, like our customer here, he's going to get a new bull bar and a new guard later on down the track. So to take this Snorkel off is real easy, just simple recut the hole and can reinstall it. If you're cleaning your car properly and want to give it a good polish, you don't have to drill out nut inserts and that because dirt and grime does sometimes build up behind them. So you can easily just unbolt your Snorkel, give the car a full polish and then put it back on. All right, so now we've finished doing the install of our Snorkel on the N80. As you can see, it's nice and presentable. All the holes are nice tight tuck here. We didn't film putting that in, needed 2 hands there, but these are a tight squeeze, so a little bit of silicone, WD-40, lube it up just to help you get it through there. But it's meant to be like that, so if you're struggling, just keep working it, it'll get in there. As you can see, we've also got nice clean finish on the brackets. Pretty close to the door, but we got no clearance issues there. No impingement points on the inner rubber seal there. And that's it. So I hope you enjoyed the video. These installs allow 2 to 3 hours if you got the right tools. If you're using like a bit of makeshift tools like tin snips and that, you probably lose half a day on one of these, but that's half the fun of it. The videos are there to help you step by step through it and enjoy that process of your car. If you don't want to do that yourself, just hit us up in the DMs. You can purchase one of our Snorkels through us and we'll also do the install for you. Saturday installs are available as well. Thanks for watching this install and we'll catch you on the next install video and also check out our YouTube channel.